What if I told you that after obsessively digging through thousands of pages of reliability reports, warranty claim summaries, long term owner surveys, real world mechanics invoices, and technician interviews from all across the country, I could only recommend 7 new cars in the entire 2025 US market? Not 7 per category, not 7 per price range, I mean 7 in total. And I looked at over more than 300 models currently on sale. So before you think I'm exaggerating, here's the part that will upset a lot of people. Not a single European car even came close to making the list. BMW didn't make it, Mercedes didn't make it, Audi didn't make it, and even Volvo didn't make it. So the continent that literally invented the car is now building some of the least reliable new vehicles that are sold in America today. Now, if that sounds dramatic, trust me, the data is even worse. But just before we do take a deep dive, it's imperative you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified the minute we produce another game-changing video that affects your future choice of car or SUV. And I promise you will appreciate it. So buckle up and let's plunge straight in. So here's what shocked me. So I went into this expecting a list of maybe 20 or 25 models that really stood out. But instead, the deeper I researched, the more the modern car market fell apart. Any model with widespread turbo failures? Gone. Any model with fragile CVTs? Gone. Any vehicle that requires dealer lock software to perform basic repairs? Gone. Any car with digital dashboards that cost more than $3,000 to replace? Gone. And any EV with out of control battery replacement prices? Immediately gone. Now that left me 41 cars. Then I removed every model with questionable aftermarket support, poor parts availability, overcomplicated electronics, or high long-term repair projections. And that left me with 14 cars. And after filtering through owner reliability histories, mechanic failure rate trends, and warranty data, only 7 cars survived. Now, these aren't trendy, they aren't flashy, and they aren't trying to impress anyone. They simply work every day for years and years without any drama. So as always, if you know me, I'm counting down. So let's start off with number 7. And at number 7, we have the Mazda CX-50, but the naturally aspirated 2.5 litre only. Now, if every car brand built vehicles like Mazda builds the CX-50 with the naturally aspirated 2.5 litre engine, well, this list would look a whole lot different. See, this engine is the last of a dying breed. No turbocharger, no complicated hybrid setup, no delicate dual clutch transmission, just a rock-solid 4-cylinder paired with Mazda's long-proven 6-speed automatic. Now, while other mid-size SUVs are cramming in tiny turbo engines that burn through head gaskets and cooling systems, the naturally aspirated CX-50 just keeps chugging along. And here's where the deeper analysis comes in. Owners consistently report extremely low long-term operating costs because this powertrain doesn't stress itself. Fuel economy is predictable, parts are easy to find, and the transmission rarely gives mechanics anything to do besides the fluid changes. And it also helps that Mazda's interiors age gracefully. Real buttons, real knobs, and ergonomics that don't become outdated after one software update. Yes, I know, the engine may feel a little slow to some drivers, but that understated character is exactly why so many CX-50s will blow past 200,000 miles. The irony is that Mazda's simplest SUV is also the one most mechanics secretly trust for their own families. And now we're on to number 6. And at number 6, the Toyota Corolla Hybrid. Now, the Corolla Hybrid didn't just earn a place on this list, it practically carved its name into the number 6 slot with a laser pointer. This powertrain has decades of proven reliability behind it. Toyota's hybrid system is so refined now that mechanics see these cars come in for oil changes, tires, wiper blades, and hey, that's about it. The electric motors have no brushes, the transmission has almost no wearable components, and the Atkinson cycle engine is lightly stressed, which of course is the key to its longevity. Now, here's the extra depth that most people don't realize about the Corolla Hybrid. It doesn't just save fuel, it saves mechanical wear, because the hybrid system handles much of the stop and go stress. The gasoline engine spends most of its life loafing along, and that means less heat, less friction, less aging, and fewer chances for major breakdowns. This is important too. Insurance costs are low. The resale value is extremely strong, and the battery replacement costs are nowhere near the horror stories you hear about these European hybrids. For daily driving, commuting, and long term predictability, there are very few vehicles in America that make much more financial sense. It's not exciting, but excitement often breaks. The Corolla Hybrid, well, that doesn't. Down to number 5. And at number 5, the Honda Civic 2-litre non-turbo. Now, the Civic makes this list for one simple reason. Honda didn't overcomplicate the 2-litre engine. No turbo, no expensive direct injection issues, no fragile transmission setups, just a naturally aspirated power plant that has become a legend for longevity. The 2-litre Civic has some of the lowest long-term repair rates of any compact car sold in America, and mechanics will tell you the same thing privately. If you want a Civic that will last forever, buy the 2.0. Now let me expand further. The 2-litre has a predictable maintenance pattern: spark plugs, filters, coolants, and hey, not much else. The transmission paired with it handles real mileage without any drama, and Honda's interior design philosophy helps these cars feel newer for longer because they avoid gimmicky tech that becomes outdated. Visibility is excellent, road manners are balanced, and insurance rates remain low because Civics are statistically safer than many of its competitors. This is the kind of car that college students can buy. They can drive it for 10 years and still sell it for good money. It's not just reliable, it's durable in many ways that most modern compact cars simply aren't. Down to number 4. Number 4 is the Toyota Camry, the 2.5-litre or the hybrid. Now, if automotive reliability had a mascot, it would be the Toyota Camry. The 2.5-litre naturally aspirated engine is one of the most durable engines on the planet, and Toyota continues to refine it year after year. No CVT failures, no turbo-related issues, no weird engineering experiments, just proven reliability. And if you go hybrid, you get a battery warranty so long that it almost feels like Toyota is daring you to break the thing. Now, excuse me, here's the extra detail that really matters. Camrys hold their value better than almost any mid-sized sedan, not because of hype, but because dealers and shops know exactly how predictable they are. They don't consume oil, they don't chew through transmissions, and they don't suffer from electrical gremlins the way that many European mid-sized sedans do. Insurance is cheaper because repair costs are among the lowest in the segment. Ride comfort improves as the miles add up, and interior durability is outstanding. The seats don't collapse, the switches don't fail, and the dashboards don't warp in the summer heat. The Camry is the definition of buy it once and forget about it. Down to number 3, and at number 3, the Mazda Miata, the 2.0-litre manual car. Yes, a sports car ranks number 3 on the list of the most reliable new cars of 2025 because the Miata is built differently. Mazda didn't try to reinvent anything. They didn't add nonsense. They didn't turbocharge it. They didn't complicate it. They simply took a brilliantly simple formula and perfected it over the decades. The 2-litre engine is incredibly durable. The manual gearbox is amongst the most reliable ever built, and the soft top is manual, meaning nothing expensive ever actually breaks. And now for the expanded perspective. Forgive me. Miata owners form one of the strongest automotive communities in America, and that means parts support is absolutely enormous. Even dealerships typically stock Miata components because turnover is high enough to justify it. Insurance is surprisingly low since Miatas aren't crash magnets, and because the car is so lightweight, it puts very little strain on its brakes, its tires, its suspension, or even its engine. Everything lasts longer. The result? You've got the cheapest sports car to maintain, the easiest to repair, and one of the few modern cars that enthusiasts call bulletproof. The Miata is a reminder that simplicity still works today. And now down to the top two, starting at number 2 with the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Now, the RAV4 Hybrid is the definition of a perfect everyday vehicle. It's reliable, efficient, practical, and shockingly durable. Toyota engineered this system so that the electric motors handle nearly all the heavy lifting, which in turn drastically reduces wear on the gasoline engine. And unlike turbo crossovers, the RAV4 Hybrid doesn't force expensive repairs at 120,000 miles, it just keeps going. Now, here's the deeper context. Because the hybrid system shoulders so much mechanical stress, brakes last longer, the transmission experiences almost no internal wear, and engine oil stays cleaner for miles. The RAV4 Hybrid also has fantastic resale value because used car buyers know how reliable these are, especially when you compare them to turbocharged competitors and complicated AWD systems. Insurance rates are predictable, the cabin ages well, and it's that kind of vehicle that families buy and keep until the wheels fall off, and then they buy another. The RAV4 Hybrid isn't just a reliable SUV, it's one of the smartest financial decisions in the entire US market. And now we're down to number 1. And at number 1, we have the Toyota Corolla Cross. Now, this is the last truly durable small SUV being mass produced for American buyers. The Corolla Cross uses Toyota's ultra-reliable 2-litre naturally aspirated engine, which has one of the longest long-term failure rates of any modern powertrain. It uses Toyota's eCVT, a completely different, almost impossible to break design compared to the failure-prone CVTs from Nissan and Subaru. And unlike many new SUVs, it still has simple controls, straightforward technology, and a powertrain designed to last decades. Let's expand even further on this. The Corolla Cross offers a near-perfect balance of cost, comfort, and longevity. Its ride quality improves as the suspension breaks in. It has excellent parts availability, and Toyota dealers consistently report very low warranty claim rates on this model. The cabin materials don't scratch easily, the ergonomics are friendly to older drivers, insurance costs are reasonable, and the hybrid version unlocks even more durability because the gas engine works less. Now, this is the kind of SUV that will feel mechanically identical at 150,000 miles as it did on day one. It's not flashy, not trying to impress anyone, it simply works every single day for years. So there you have it, the only 7 new cars worth buying in 2025. In a market filled with overcomplicated designs, fragile turbo engines, software lock components, and repair costs that rival a mortgage payment, these 7 vehicles stand out as the last honest machines that are left. Now I want to hear from you. Which model shocked you? Did it surprise you that not a single European vehicle made the cut? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want to avoid the worst cars in 2025, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and check out a forthcoming video. And in the meantime, take care, my fellow drivers, and I'll see you guys on the next one.